Most people's concerns regarding these two areas is really the fear of the unknown. AI automates processes, but it doesn't replace creativity. Maybe then you got to start focusing on not so much job-specific skills, but more on problem-specific set of skills.
Thanks for clicking on this short video. This is an extraction from a longer video of a workshop. The link to this longer video is in the description below. There, we discuss other facets of the same issue discussed here. Do take a look too.
Extent of AI adoption in recruitment amongst employers polled in Singapore. So you can see here, the orange bit here, no plans to use AI in the coming year. But the majority, slight majority, they are either already using or are thinking of using. Now, let's try to understand first those that are not using, what is their concern. Here they're saying that the challenges, hesitation comes from a lack of standard regulatory framework, including budget and the lack of human touch and personalization. So the companies here are saying that either they have no budget or they feel that they still need the human touch, which is very real. Let me spend a few minutes talking about how companies use AI. Almost 37% use it for resume screening and shortlisting. Okay, this is in recruitment. Just under 33% use it for candidate assessment and ranking. 26% use it to perform predictive analysis for candidate fit. So what does this all mean? So let's dig deeper one by one. Resume screening and shortlisting. Okay. Why do companies want to do this? Well, essentially, they want to streamline the initial screening process. Because on average right now, for every advertised jobs, most companies maybe receive upwards of 300 to 500 applications. They have no time to go through all the applications. So they use the ATS to screen through all the applications. Okay. And how do they do this? Basically, they have algorithms. They analyze the resumes to see whether they match the criteria, whether there's relevant skills, experience, and qualifications. Candidate assessment and ranking. Why do they use this? It's basically to make sure the assessments are more accurate and efficient. Okay? And how do they do this? They analyze historical data on past engagements, employee performance, and other relevant factors. Right? And they also have custom algorithms that can rank candidates based on suitability for specific roles. So this is actually used for both internal staff as well as new candidates coming in, and maybe at the later part of the selection process. Okay, so they would have an idea, companies would have an idea of what makes an employee for them or for that particular role. And they feed that into an algorithm so that the algorithm then predicts whether that person has the qualities. All right. Predictive analysis for candidate fit. Again, same thing. They use it for internal as well as external candidates. It helps organizations make better talent decisions. And how are they doing this? They identify common traits of successful employees. AI prioritizes candidates who exhibit similar attributes. But I think what is very interesting here is this. Most of the processes are used to automate the flow and improve the efficiency. They are also used to improve assessment accuracy and then try and make a better prediction of the hiring success. Like it or not, companies will increasingly feel the push to adopt AI in their own processes, whether it's business or whether recruitment or employee management. Okay, so I came across this article, this talk recently. So basically what this talk says, it says that technology is changing at an exponential rate. So it's going faster and faster. It's not going at an even pace. However, companies only change at a logarithmic rate. So there is a gap, and the gap is getting bigger and bigger. And that gap will create a lot of tension. So companies are being forced to try and get on the generative AI bandwagon because it's going to go so fast. And that video goes on to suggest something which I think is quite dramatic, which I think is also very relevant here. Companies are going to operate in an era where constant regeneration becomes a necessity. AI is no longer becoming a competitive advantage. It's going to be an expectation. You need to operate in a new work environment. So if a company is currently not adapting to AI, they eventually will because they cannot afford not to. So what does this mean to the individual job seeker? So let's discuss this on an individual level, using AI in a modern job search process. In my past workshops, I actually explain what is the modern job search process. So it's know yourself, know the world of work. Wow is the world of work. Strategy, how you strategize to get the job you want, and how you connect up with the employer. AI can be used in those areas, right? Now, so under knowing yourself, AI can be used for assessment and matching careers. Okay, knowing the world of work, AI will be used for market research, updating and getting the latest news scraping, okay, and also creating job alerts for you. Okay, in terms of strategy, wow, so many things. AI can help you with your branding process, your network building, your outreach out to people to get opportunities, and also to help you learn new skills. And connecting with employer, AI will help you in terms of the job matching, resume optimization, and interview prep. Okay, so the question here now is this: given all this happening, right? AI is being used in recruitment and also in use in job search. What does it mean to you? Improve efficiency, keep up to date, complicated, need to customize. However, most of it right now is mainly productivity focused. Okay, but things are changing very rapidly. Okay, improving very rapidly. Things that you saw when AI came out end of last year versus now changed so much already in a short space of 7 months or so. Therefore, we need to be up to date. The question we ask ourselves is this: do we manage how we use AI, or are we going to be a victim of AI in the way we look at our career? If you are currently working, employees need to be aware of alignment with organizational culture processes and also be sure that you are working in a collaborative manner. But there's still this need for the human touch. So given all this, how are you feeling? Somebody said, Rojak, overwhelmed. How to help myself? Uncertain. Some of you may be feeling anxious. You may think that, hey, this is a new area that I might be going into. Wow, opportunity to learn new things, right? But some of you may be feeling, wow, I'm so overwhelmed. I feel so inadequate because there's so many things I need to do, right? So let's then dig deeper. What are we worried about? Let's analyze this in more detail. Maybe one major concern is this, especially those of you who are considered over 40, right? You feel, I'm too old for all this. It's difficult for me to learn new tricks. Yeah. Or maybe you just say, I don't know where to start. I don't know what I don't know. Or maybe there's just thing that's just so overwhelmed. There's just so much to do and so little time. So it's good that you express this, because now then we want to move ahead. The basis of our uncertainty here is because it is unknown. We do not know how much AI is going to impact us. So how do we move on? I'm going to divide it into two components. One as a job seeker, one as an employee. So let me talk about the job seeker part first. As a job seeker, remember, those things might be something that you are concerned about because those are the things that's being used in recruitment. Resume screening, candidate assessment, predictive analysis. Okay, so what are the possibilities for you as a job seeker in light of AI coming into the playground now? Think about this. Have you ever tried doing research about the companies? In the old days, it was actually quite difficult, quite laborious. But now with AI, it's so easy to search, right? It's so easy to search about the jobs, about the companies, or the nature of the job. But the drawback here is this: because it is so easy to do, sometimes you lack focus. So you need to focus and use AI to your objectives. So don't go down the rabbit hole, okay? The other opportunity here is this: can we learn to master AI so that we become experts in AI? It is possible, right? Many AI tools are designed to help people who don't have coding experiences. So it is very possible for us to master the AI tools. Then it becomes more possible for you to go out and build your own business using AI tools. So what's the action you need to do? You need to know where you are right now. So you need to assess, what are you good at? What are your strengths? What are your skill sets? If you have a skills gap, then you need to go for training, acquire the new skills. You also need to make sure whatever you do in terms of the job application, it must be customized. You cannot do a buckshot approach and send in and say the same CV to all jobs, especially when they are using AI to filter out all the unqualified applicants. And then this notion of using AI to brand yourself out. Now, with AI, the opportunity for you to brand yourself in a much more effective way is much stronger. Over the next few slides, I'm going to give you examples of AI tools you can use. They are not exhaustive, all right? But they're just some examples to get you started on this whole process of using AI as a job seeker. Okay? So the first one here is, you may be familiar with this, Careers Finder. Careers Finder is actually it's a platform that's actually using AI to give you options for career alternatives. The other tool, which again you may be familiar, is with the E2I Resume Builder. These are just examples of 30 AI tools to boost your career in 2024 using ChatGPT to find your dream job. Then, how about using LLM like ChatGPT to help you promote yourself on LinkedIn, to help you look better on LinkedIn? This one is a very interesting one. I've actually asked my clients to actually try this out. Using LLM like ChatGPT to plan your career. So there's one example here. The following is a description of what I do, where I am in my career as an expert career advisor, and create a list of possible career options. So you give details on that. Okay. So another possibility here is really using another different prompt. You are, for example, you're an accountant, you are an engineer, I'm looking to pursue a different profession. What are some alternative careers I can pursue with these skills? Then you list down your career skills. Okay. Some people have even used a ChatGPT to try and help them decide which profession is good for them. All right. So they could use a prompt like this. The following is a description of the career path I want to take. So you've decided on a career path. List the pros and cons of this path. So you list down all the choices, your career path. All right. Then this one, which I thought was really interesting as well, help you give yourself a 5-year plan. In 5 years, you can describe your career goals. I'm currently doing this, where you are. Create a 5-year career plan that will help me get to my goal. All right. So these are just some examples of prompts. There are many, many out there. It's just for you to search. Okay. Now, I want to come back to this YouTube video where it talks about this notion of a creative generalist. So what do we mean by this? So this hexagon up here, the main hexagon place, most of us are operating in this space where we have a set of skills that is suited for the job that we are doing right now or want to do. So that is the skill. The skill, very, very specific. All our skills are honed into that job. So we are always focused on specific set of skills. But this notion of creative generalism basically means that if AI now gives us the possibility to be good at something outside of the areas that we are good at. Okay? Imagine you are no good at drawing art or painting pictures or creating a piece of art. But now AI can allow you to generate a masterpiece if you want to, just from typing in a few letters, the prompt, text to video, text to image. Just imagine, you are not a good artist, but yet you can generate works of art. That's what we mean, that AI allows us to become a creative generalist, because it allows us to push outside of our current boundary of skills that we have. So it allows us to make connections between what we are expert in, with things that we already know or are aware of. Okay, and what does this mean? Because this opens up a whole new area of work for us. No, in other words, instead of needing experience and skills, maybe we just need to know how to use the tools to solve problems. Wow. Instead of being so focused on saying that I need to have this set of skills for that job, how about looking at it another way to say that maybe it's also equally important for me to know how to use the AI tools to help my companies or prospective companies solve problems. That is the new way of looking at things. And the other thing I think you all have experienced before, I know I personally have experienced, when we go into query models like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Bing Chat, Bing Copilot and all that, we look for things. It allows us to go into a very broad area, right? But imagine if you find something that's really interesting for you, you can go deep immediately. You can go down that particular hole and drill deep, very deeply, and find much more information. So now you have the opportunity to not only go wide, very, very wide, but also go deep down into particular areas, even if you don't have the previous skill and experience. To me, that's very, very powerful notion because it affects the way we look at our work. So what sort of help do we need then? Maybe work with someone who's experienced in using AI for job search, maybe a coach in the area, or someone who is maybe more proficient in the AI area itself. Okay? Or maybe you want to attend courses that help you to learn to use AI. Okay? Or if you are like me, you like to do things, learn by yourself. Okay? Do that. But take action. Right? And the other thing is what? Talk to people out there. You won't be the only one that is looking in this area. There will be other people, whether it's your immediate network or whether it's in your larger circle. Connect up with them or look at what they are doing and learn from them. All right? So that was a job seeker. So now let's look at the employee. So remember, employee, currently now what's happening is that, companies are using AI in terms of candidate assessment as well as predictive analysis. What are the possibilities we have here? Two great possibilities for us, okay, as an employee. Okay. What are these? Remember I said about expert? You can be an expert in the field that you are in right now. So you can use AI tools to help you be an expert in the area, right? Or you can expand beyond your current area to become a problem solver. So people solve problems by not just only using skills and experience in one area, but the best problem solvers use skills and experiences they know about in other areas, right? And AI allows us to leverage on other areas to do so. Okay? These are just some examples of how different professions are using AI. Consultants, marketing managers, retail assistants, and journalists, right? So if you're in a different profession and you want to know how to use AI, just do a simple search. You can find this out very, very easily. For your information, okay, if you've got a particular profession in mind, you just type in what areas of my job can I use AI and give me examples of software. The new way of work also means a new way of seeing ourselves as workers. It's so different now because of this notion of a creative generalist. AI allows us to be good at something where our skills are basic, but it also allows us to use our dormant skills. And these skills can now be used to provide value for the organization. Let's say, for example, you are in this organization and you have got skill sets. Those skill sets are in the yellow dots. Some of those skill sets could be replaced by automation like AI. But imagine if you are what they call a creative generalist, where you're using AI to enhance what you're capable of doing. Here, Yes, there will still be some skill sets that are replaced by automation within your immediate confines, but you also are able to expand beyond your current department or your current functional role using AI to augment what you already know. AI allows us to not only enhance existing skills and knowledge in our work, but also allows us to use these skills outside of our department for projects or tasks. Okay. So here we focus on work that's based on projects and not roles, on skills and not jobs. When tasks are automated in the traditional jobs, our employment is threatened. If we work within the bracket of that job, we'll be threatened because AI replaces some parts of our skill set. But if we look at AI as allowing us to expand beyond our current jobs, our current roles, then it becomes part of our work nature. I want to show you a separate video. This is a talk by Gartner's Future Lab. And they were talking about disruption, what's happening in the workplace. And there was this particular notion here is, they asked the question, what if older workers become more productive than younger ones? Wow. Can you imagine that? They're saying that the talent crunch creates two pressures, right? The need for more experience and the to ensure that there's salary equity for the people who are actually doing the work itself. So the notion here is this. If we use AI properly, if you are someone who is an older worker, if you can use AI properly to help solve problems, it then becomes your weapon because it democratizes skills. Because then you are able to break beyond your traditional confines and work in areas outside of what you were previously specializing in. All right. So your value becomes greater, and the organization are then forced to take advantage of what you have and incorporate you into their workforce. So this is something for us to take advantage of as an older worker. Okay. As an older worker, we need to do a little bit more. We need to prove ourselves. We need to provide proof that we can help companies. And AI allows us to provide the proof that we can actually help them. All right. So let's move on. Action. What do we need to do to become an expert, to be a problem solver? Obviously, we need to take a look at what skills we have, right? And make sure that they're relevant. If they're not relevant, then we need to go for retraining. You also, as an existing employee, need to make sure that you give the positive impression that you are a team worker, that you are committed to the company's mission. If you really want to grow and prosper within the company, you have to convince your company that you're committed to what they are doing. You got to adapt to the culture, especially if it is changing very quickly. Okay. This thing about getting feedback. Work with your bosses, your supervisors, get feedback from them. Ask them what it takes. What do you need to do in order to progress within the company? Okay. And this last one, which I really like, don't be afraid to try new things. Okay. Trying new things means you're stretching yourself. And this is also an opportunity for you to become a creative generalist. What help you need? Right? Maybe who can help you within the company. So the first port of call usually I would suggest is working with HR to understand what are the systems in place, what are the things that they are looking for, what are the career paths available to you as an employee. All right. Then obviously you also want to work with your boss, right? Work with your boss to try and find out what do you need to take, what do you need to do, what skills you need to learn in order to grow within the company. Find a mentor. Maybe someone is outside the company, but who is very familiar with the industry or the role. And then this thing about network. But this time now is in your internal network. That means within the company. Engage with your internal network. Find out, what are the ins and outs. Have a collaborative mindset. teamwork. Just don't isolate yourself, okay? Get into the know what's happening within the company. So we spent the last half an hour talking about using AI in job search and career growth. And essentially, most people's concerns regarding these two areas is really the fear of the unknown. Okay? So I hope that by going through the framework, you get a sense that actually you have the possibility to break out of this shell, blow out the shadows, shine a brighter light on making sure things are more obvious for you. But I want a few caveats, because I think this is very important here. There is still some things that we need to understand about AI. Okay, so firstly, there's going to be errors and biases. So whenever research you do, don't just depend on one source. Search for multiple sources to verify what you have found out. Be wary of manipulated content, deepfakes, going to be a big issue coming out, especially in election year. Okay, those of you who are formulating AI policies, consider fairness and transparency. Okay, don't solely rely on AI, right? There's always this thing about having the final human interface. AI automates processes, but it doesn't replace creativity. The future of work is powered by people, but enabled by AI. So we then need to be sure that we use AI to our benefit. We should not be seeing AI as a threat, but we should be seeing AI as an enabler for what we want to do and what we want to achieve. Jobs may be gone, but the work is still there. The work still needs to be done. Okay? Maybe then we got to start focusing on not so much job-specific skills, but more on problem-specific set of skills.
Hi! Thanks for watching this video. If you like what you've seen and can't wait for the next one, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel in the link below. See you soon!